What is going on, family? My brothers and sisters in the Warning Army. I hope everybody is doing well this week on another Women Who Rock Wednesday. And if you're new to the channel, we do this every single Wednesday where we give a little bit of extra love and appreciate the women who rock in the world. And this all began with The Warning. And we do have another long video to get into with their second TED Talk video, but I did have something that I needed to kind of clear up what I made a mention and commented in their first video. I made a comment on there about Paulina, and at the end of the day, I think that I'm always going to be more or less focused on the overall mental health of anybody in when I'm enjoying them as an artist, as a fan, as a supporter, or just any of you viewers out there even watching. I'm like, I care about your mental health more than anything and making sure that you do what is right for you. So when I made that comment, it was coming from more of a place of concern of like the two times and the two things that I had to pull from in my personal experience of where that thought even came from was the Jimmy Kimmel performance, where a lot of people said that she wasn't really having the best day that day, and my own personal experience was seeing them live in Baltimore, because to the best of my knowledge, I don't think I've seen actually any other footage from them from this year, which I know all of you guys out there have. So I believe you when you say that you're crazy, Johnny, and she's doing just fine. I'm so happy that she is. I really am. I'm so glad to be wrong about that comment. But at the end of the day, my mind is always just going to kind of go to first about looking at someone's mental health and caring that they're hopefully in the best of places. And I never want to see people struggling, and I tend to look for those kinds of things, and if so, I might see them sometimes when they're maybe not there, and that's kind of where that was coming from when I made that comment. At the end of the day, I want everybody to make sure that they do what is best for them and to make sure that they take care of themselves, their body, their brains, their just everything. Just making sure that you do what is best for you and your family and your loved ones. Now, that being said, let's talk about the cool stuff about Paulina. Did you guys happen to see that she did a whole little feature on a Dead Poet Society song recently? Oh man, we looked at it on a live stream. Somebody had pointed it out to me when we were live streaming the other day, and so we went and watched the reaction to that, and let me tell you, it was exciting to see her up there, like really just killing it, just really overall killing it. I loved the fact that she got invited to do that. I am obviously a major fan of Dead Poet Society. I really like that song a lot. I thought that she was a great addition to that song. The perfect feature that, like, much like when I said about Danny and when she was doing the feature for Painkiller, where it was like, she was the feature that the song could have used. You know what I mean? Like that feature adds so much more depth to the song. And Pal really did a great job of really like just having that little moment where she got to be up there and be the front person for a minute. And honestly, like everything that I have ever seen from her when she does stuff like that, she nailed it out of the park, like even that much better this time. Johnny, this is the longest intro ever. Let's get to the video. Oh my God, she is going nuts on the kit today. She is absolutely going nuts on this song. Like she is, oh my God, she is all over the place. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not familiar with this song, so I'm not sure which album it was actually off of, but it did make me think immediately like, wow, there is like a ton of growth from the first TED Talk to the second TED Talk. Like it's almost like flipping a switch and all of a sudden it's that much better like a year later. You can see that they're kind of starting to develop like their overall look on stage a little bit better at this point in their careers as well. So that's kind of cool seeing like Danny wear like a little bit more of like a rocker jacket kind of up there. And, you know, just everybody looks like they're more like in the band. And last time they kind of looked like they were all coming like from school. And somebody mentioned that Danny was like in her like Sunday school dress. It's the overall appearance of them like it's much different. And it's a lot more of like what we expect from like the Warning now. Like even at like, you know, you're just watching like the stage, like this, the progression and the levels go up like over the years. It's like just really cool to see. I feel like overall this song is a lot more energetic, and I feel like it would probably move the people in the audience that much more because I'm like that much more engaged with it. Like last time it was almost like a witnessing of like, wow, they're so talented. And then this time it's like, wow, they're so talented and their songs are banging.
Just a waste of time, we make a man, something we find. Years not to lie. This has become a war, and you will stop until we fall, till we're all gone. Oh, you left till you care what behind. Oh, you come close 'cause you stand us in our back when you're all alone with no one to hold. Don't come near 'cause we won't be here. You left us lost and we gave you trust. You left 'cause you chose them over us. It's another ball for better or for worse. You'll get what you deserve. It's another ball for better or for worse. You'll get what you deserve. It's another ball for better or for worse. You'll get what you deserve. It's another ball for better or for worse. You'll get what you deserve. When you're all alone with no one to hold, don't come near 'cause we won't be here. You left us lost and we gave you trust. You left 'cause you chose them over us. It's another ball for better or for worse. You'll get what you deserve. It's another ball for better or for worse. You'll get what you deserve.
Oh my God. Oh my God, let's fucking go, yo. Like that song is hard, man. That song has got like some punk rock energy to it. I really like the fact that like Danny at this point in time in her career, like she still has like a little bit of like the accent, like when she's singing like English lyrics. I didn't quite catch it so much like in the first half of the song, but that second half of the song I caught it a little bit more. And I know she doesn't sound like that now. Once again, you're seeing the progression of like the artist of who Danny is, and just watching it like just the years go by, like from video after video, and seeing just little growths and little steps like every step of the way to see like the amazing talents these ladies have always been and are amazingly continuing to grow today. Oh, got some people standing up, some standing O's.
Thank you so much. Hello, we are The Warning. We are three sisters with a passion for music. I'm Alejandra.
I'm Pauline.
And I'm Daniela.
We feel so honored of being here playing for you. Thank you so much for the invitation. We are especially excited because we already finished our first original album. And the songs that you're gonna listen today are part of it.
Okay,
We're
that
gonna tell
answered
you a
my
little
question.
bit of what's it about and why we love what we do so much.
Our album is basically about the 21st century and its society, and some of the things that we would like to change about it. Hence its name, 21st Century Blood. We worked really hard on this album. We put so much time and care into it. Sure, we took a very long time making it, since we were extremely careful to never lose sight of what we wanted our first album to be like. And thanks to all the people who helped us get what we needed, it was possible.
Yeah, and we've had
many offers and requests from people who wanted to be a part of our journey. But they always wanted to change an aspect of who we were and what we wanted to do as a band in the business point of view. And that made us feel very disappointed because, I mean, why would we have to change
Facts.
ourselves to be successful?
Facts.
So this album is the result of us completely ignoring those people and doing our own thing because, thank you. One of
brings
the
up an
most
interesting
important
point.
things to us is staying true to ourselves and what we want to do as musicians. I mean, of course, we did listen to those people and what they had to say, but in the end, we didn't go with it because they wanted to change us for the wrong reasons. For us, music is born through feelings and inspiration. It's art, and it's our creative output, not just business. So this next song is called When I'm Alone.
Oh boy. Oh my God. We're getting into the sad one, right? Oh boy. Okay. Like I'm about to open the can of worms with the discussion, and then we're gonna jump into the sad song. This is gonna be a very interesting TED Talk for sure. I'm starting to understand why some people have the perspective and the point of view that have shared that they really didn't like the Keep Me Fed album because they didn't feel like they said that I've heard a handful of people say that this was the least Warning or the Warning sounding album that they have ever produced and created, that it was too much of outside influences, and that the way that they started, like Danny was just talking about, was trying their best to not let outside influences dictate how to go about the band and for them to make their own decisions. As you guys are very aware, the life of an artist is very difficult. And especially in a band where you have to spend a lot of time on the road trying to build fans and perform shows, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of work. And doing it year after year, you really can't take that many breaks because as soon as you do, you lose a little bit of momentum, especially when you're talking about being more of an independent artist, like the Warning were for many, many a year. So it does make sense to me now why a lot of people have said why that Keep Me Fed was different from the rest of their albums and they didn't like it. So it does, I can see that because I feel Keep Me Fed is the most unique, in my opinion, as well from what I have heard, because their earlier records all kind of had very similar themes to them and overall just kind of the way that they sounded and were presented. Versus Keep Me Fed was probably the most experimental I think that they have been thus far, even though it did remind me a lot of the overall band, and I like that album a lot. I do. But I do understand why people hate it now. At the end of the day, things change, people grow, and opinions change. And that's okay. We're allowed to change. You're allowed to change your opinion when you know better. Like that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is it's okay to change your opinion once you know and have more information about something. It's okay to have a sudden change of heart about something because now you know better. You're better educated. And I'm not trying to say that the Warning made an album by outside influences or that they let anybody out push them and make an album any of that way. I want to make sure I make that clear as well, that I am not saying that that is what they did, but I understand why some people feel that way. All right, let's get into the sad one.
Full of color on the outside, but I only see in black and white. I'm desperate for some light in the corners of my mind, having hope but not enough, reaching out to find no one. Am I the only soul to have lost all control? It gets hard to breathe, stuck in between our words. Has become my baby. I'm in, and there's no escape from bubbles in my head. It's driving me crazy. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll fall on through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright.
definitely has a lot more of like a rocky feel to it in this rendition, where the version that I first listened to was a little bit more of that softer approach to it, and it really grips you and really kind of just drives you into that overall mindset. I don't feel like it has like the same translation when it's kind of played this way. It kind of still has that same kind of progressive punk energy kind of feel to it, where it's fast, it's kind of loud, and it's exciting. Like I said, it's got kind of that punk rock energy feel to it, but it doesn't quite like jerk the tears and kind of like really grip the soul, I think, the same way that other rendition, when she kind of slowed it down and kind of just really like, had these touching moments with the audience. And I feel like, honestly, this wasn't the place where you were really going to like have that anyway. So I don't blame the approach for this way, because it's not going to, you're not going to have like that emotional connection with an audience at this kind of event this way.
I'm about to tear off this page, but it's something I can't erase. I wish I could rewrite the story of my life. What I hide every day behind the mask, there's pain. They say I'm not alone, but do they even know it? Gets hard to breathe, stuck in between our word. That's become my baby at the end. There's no escape from what was in my head. It's driving me crazy. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll fall all through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows we're dragging along when I'm alone. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll fall all through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows we're dragging along when I'm alone. And every day I'll try to keep my feelings hidden inside, but nobody knows what I hold in my soul when I'm alone. When I'm alone.
Oh my God. I can't get over the fact, like, Pow is like so energetic back there. There's something about just the fact that like this song is just like it's like so personal, and it's so deep on the lyrical level, but when they perform it this way, it like just kicks ass at the same time. It's just like two different moods about it. Like, you could listen to this version and it makes you feel like, yeah, I'm gonna take on the world, and you can listen on another version and feel like, man, I feel like I'm so alone in the world, but I'm not alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you could give you different emotions hearing different versions of just how they play it.
Through the whole process, we've had a lot of struggles. It's been a very difficult path. We went through one obstacle only to be greeted by another one, and another one, and another one.
Right, like her driver's permit. She still ain't got that driver's license yet.
And when we thought we were finally finished, turns out there were many more obstacles to face.
With so many difficulties along the way, we sometimes felt very discouraged. But in the long run, all those nights where we couldn't sleep, all those situations that we thought were never going to end, only made us stronger as a band and as a family. We know that anyone can relate to having a struggle in their life and how hard it can be to rise above it. But please, fight. Fight for your dreams and for what you believe in, just like we still are today. Even though it may feel like you're not getting anywhere and that it's just not worth it, believe me, your dreams are worth fighting for, and there will be a positive outcome in the end.
All we have accomplished.
Again, Pal's killing it with the speeches.
Thank you. All we have accomplished is thanks to a vital part of us as a band, our family, and we are very grateful for that. Family has been and still is the most important part in this process. We have been through highs and lows together, and keeping this trust or love or whatever you want to call it, keeping it intact is extremely important to us because everything we have done has been because we, as a family, have stuck together. And by family, we don't just mean our parents, which of course have been our main supporters through all of this. And without them, we wouldn't be here today. But by family, we mean our special team that is always there for us, and all the people we have worked with, and of course, all the people who have supported us through this incredible journey.
And now we value all the work that is behind every album we listen. It's really shocking how we as music listeners don't really notice all the extremely hard work that is put into making an album. And even though it still has a huge impact on us. I mean, you can't deny that there's always that one song that can make you happy just by listening to it, or give you courage when you need it. Music is that one companion that will always be there through everything. The one who will know exactly how you're feeling. Music is passion. Music is hope. Music is life.
We want to thank you all for your time, and we're going to say goodbye with this last song called Survive. You have been warned!
I love that they added that like right there at the end before they played that last song. And now we're gonna bring it back around with Survive, which is a great way to end this entire presentation. We showed range and volume over like the Warnings catalog. I feel like you guys said that this was a better TED Talk than the first one was, and I think it absolutely is. The first one was phenomenal, and the fact that they were invited to these TED Talks and invited back to these TED Talks is also insanely cool. Like, it's not, bands would love this opportunity to ever be invited to this, to even speak for 2 minutes, let alone give them the 20 minutes that they would give pretty much almost everybody that comes on these things, unless you're getting a little 10-minute set. So like, that's just so cool that they gave them all that time and all that ability to speak. I really like the fact that Danny wasn't the only person really talking in this video. I like the fact that Ale and Paulina got involved with the overall conversation, and it was kind of more of a three-piece, and Danny was kind of putting a little icing on the cake kind of over the overall conversations. Like, last time she really did a lot of the heavy lifting on doing a lot of the major speeches for the overall TED Talk. For those of you guys who have ever really heard me talk about my battle with depression and PTSD and all that, have known that, you guys will quote this little, like, literal speech from Danny to me when she was talking about how music is the thing that'll like never give up on you and it'll always be there for you. It's passion. It's literally everything that you ever needed it to be. It can be, and it has been in my life. So I thank you guys so much for, bringing that quote to my attention and, just really just sharing those kind words that, just reciprocating what Danny had said in the speech to me in those moments and those comments and those videos. I really appreciate you guys a lot for everything that you guys do and how supportive you guys are of me that way. Let's get down to Survive, baby. I feel like I've been listening to this song like nonstop lately. A lot of reactions of it, covers of it.
Don't
That's the
come
center
to
version.
me saying that you cared, that I was the one who was never there. Don't come with your lights in the air. You keep blaming me and it ain't fair. Don't come telling me that you're worried that I'll be hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying
The
that
little
you're
piano
sorry.
stuff is groovy, you know what I mean?
worth
It just
me
adds a little
nothing. You worth
flavor
me
to it.
nothing at all.
Every time I listen to this song, man, I love the whoa-oh-ohs. It gives me the goosebumps, man. Oh my God, it's for real, for real.
And we were gonna be together forever and ever. And now I'm lying on the floor with my broken heart and all. Oh, you said, and I was the one of your dreams that your heart belonged to me. Now I believe.
Oh, baby, fucking best, man. I swear to God. That's why I think it's crazy when you guys think that I don't like her. I love her so much, man. She just like so casually just, yeah, we're getting right back to it, yo.
I must move on because I think you won't come home. Come home. Oh, I know I will survive. Even if you're not by my side, think this time I'll say goodbye. Don't come to me saying that
Stop it, that guitar riff!
Don't come with your lies in there. You keep blaming me and it ain't fair. Don't come telling me that you're worried that I'll be hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying that you're sorry. Your words mean nothing. Your words mean nothing at all.
Don't think I didn't notice that Pal was wearing those little high heel Jones, like to make sure that she wasn't like the shortest person on the stage. See, I'm opening the can of worms right back up for you guys.
That we were perfect for each other, that I was like no other. I never knew this was a game, you win, I lose at every place. Oh, 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 yes, that you were gonna keep your promise of loving me always. But now I know that it ain't true, and I'm so glad that I left you, left you. Oh,
I know I will survive, even if you're not by my side. Think this time
Look at Ale right now, man. Oh my God, she's the best.
Don't come to me saying
Tell him, Pal, tell him.
that I was the one who was never there.
Oh my God, this run every time, yo.
You keep blaming me and it ain't fair. Don't come telling
I feel like every time I listen to this song, like a live version, I hear like Danny, the guitar riff just sounds like a little different. It's probably like she's using different instruments. She's like a little little parts of different types of tuning, and like just the way that they got the distortion set up. But it just sounds so sick every time. Like even when it's like a little different, it sounds so sick every time.
me that you're worried that I'll be hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying that you're sorry. Your words mean nothing. Your words mean nothing at all.
So when everybody in the crowd should be doing something, you know what I mean? But they're all sitting down in those chairs. I love that Pal like plays with the hi-hats as much as she does. I meant to point it out in the song she was doing earlier. I love drummers that like are heavy on the hi-hats. I'm a big hi-hat and snare guy. Traditional kit. gotta do the bow. They gotta do the bow.
Muchas gracias!
Muchas gracias. I said that terribly. Muchas gracias. I said it terribly again.
Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
They answered a lot of my questions throughout the video. That Danny was 16, Pyle was 14, and Ale was 12 at the time of this video. So, again, remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. It is so cool to just see any young people like the Warning in their journey and where they've come from, like Freeze the Fall, just to see these bands out there with a supportive system that are able to elevate them to the heights that they've been able to go, and just had so many people along the way on this journey, like, you know, like the Warning Army specifically, right? Like you guys, a lot of y'all have been around since the very inception of this entire concept and idea, and know, like, been there every step of the way. And that is so cool. I feel like such a late blooming fan to this band, and I'm a little envious at the end of the day, because, like I said, I feel like I missed a lot of a cool opportunity to really just kind of be there for the journey and watch this as it happened, because it's not like it hasn't happened in my lifetime. I just didn't know about it. So I think it's fun that every single day new people are getting turned on to the Warning. The fact that I have put anybody new onto the Warning has been a positive. I feel like I'm such a new member of the Warning Army. I feel like I barely hold on to my stripes. You guys are still wondering whether or not I do actually love this band or not. But yeah, I'm not the kind of person that would actually go to their show and buy their poster if I did not actually like really love and truly see what was going on with these ladies, and just been so incredibly inspired for all the work that they have done and continue to do, because I feel like they're just an inspiration to so many people, not only through just the art of music, but just content creators, artists in general, just anybody who is trying to follow their own passion in life. I feel like they're a good and true testament of, like, you can do it. You know, I don't look as pretty as they do, but they make me feel like I could be okay at doing this one day. Really appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me today. And if you've hung out this far in the video, it's because you are a true Foxtrot fan. And I will be the first one to let you know that next week, I think, is when we're going to do Breathe. We're going to get into it. That'll be available on my Patreon for anyone who is interested in getting first access to that video. And if you have not joined the Foxtrot family yet, there is always room for you. Until next time, I appreciate you for watching.